And all I do is stand in the corner and rub my nipples. But I guess when you get paid to do what you love, it's never really work, right? It's just gratuitous nipple rubbing and ass salad parties and donkey shows. That's what I always imagined what being my own boss would be like. That and the occasional, just, getting punched in the face with bills. Yeah. I think it's imperative to not, die of boredom necessarily, and that's why I read comics, so I don't die of boredom. In this selection I bring to you Cold War #1, written by a fellow named Christopher Sabella and illustrated by a fellow named Hayden Sherman, who I actually had the privilege of meeting. He randomly stopped into my place of work. I guess it's not so random when I worked at a comic shop, so that's not as random as like, he randomly, ran over a guy and you needed somebody to wash the blood off at, whatever. But it's one of those things. It was kind of cool. He stopped in. We talked a little bit. He actually contributed to our artist wall and drew us a little something from a title that he's doing for Image. I can't remember what it is. It's a post-apocalyptic world. That's all I remember about it. The selection I'm bringing is, like I said, Cold War #1. And this is actually more recent. I'm a little bit behind on my reading, unfortunately. But this book is pretty good. I like the illustration, the style of it. I'm trying to think of how to describe it. It's kind of street edge, like that. It's if you ever read 100 Bullets, it's kind of like that. It's very raw, and I think it helps convey the tone of the story, where it's this sense is kind of a theme there, Mr. Sherman, but this apocalyptic book where it takes place a few hundred years from now. These people get thawed out from cryogenesis stasis, or whatever the hell the appropriate scientific term is for that. And they find out that they've been enlisted by allegedly the American government to take place in a war. And fucking shenanigans ensue. It's pretty goddamn wild. It's definitely worth picking up, I think. I think it sets up very well for a next issue in a very surprising way. And to find out what that way is, you're just gonna have to read the damn thing. So get to your local comic shop, preferably, this wonderful one I've heard about, in Columbus, Ohio, up off 23 in Lozelle. Yeah, I think it's over by that Taco Bell and stuff. So yeah.